Yeah, hello everyone. First of all, introducing myself. My name is Raju, mathematics lecturer, Master G from CS Academy, Erode. Today, my topic is differentiation, so which is belongs to calculus. So we all know the calculus is very interesting sector. So probably it's a favorite to all the students, those who love mathematics. I can quickly analyze the weightage of differentiation in JEE point of view. So in JEE mains, so in each and every exam, almost they asked one question from differentiation. So let's see here. In 2019, in 9th January, morning and evening, 10th, 11th, 12th, almost in each shift, they asked one question from differentiation. Not only that, in 2020, 21 also, almost they asked one question in each shift. So then what about the differentiation in JEE Advanced? So in JEE Advanced, rarely they may ask a question directly from differentiation. Then is it important in JEE Advanced point of view? Yes. So applications of derivative, one of the most important topic in calculus. So every year, 1 or 2 questions coming from the applications of derivative in JEE Advanced. To understand the applications of derivative, we should understand the concept of differentiation. So differentiation is fundamental of applications of derivative. Okay, let us begin with the differentiation. So first, what is the mean by differentiation? That we know that the process of finding the derivative is called the differentiation. Then what is the derivative? So the rate of change of one dependent quantity with respect to another dependent quantity has great importance. So for example, if you see that the rate of change of displacement of a particle with respect to a time is called its velocity, and the rate of change of velocity with respect to time is called its acceleration. So I have given here the definition. The rate of change of the quantity y with respect to x is known as the derivative or differentiable coefficient of y with respect to x. So here already I have written some simple definitions of differentiations. So to cover all the important topics, so that I have written the simple definitions here. Then here, the derivative. So here, the first principle of calculus to find the derivative of a function. So with the help of the first principle of calculus, we can find the derivative of each and every function, like it may be algebraic function, it may be trigonometric function. So use this first principle of calculus. So already you studied about first principle of calculus in class 11. So the derivative of the function y is equal to f of x. The first principle of calculus means the derivative of the function f of x with respect to x. So y is equal to f of x with respect to x can be denoted by f dash of x. This is equal to limit h tends to 0, f of x plus h minus f of x by h. So this f dash of x also can be denoted by dy by dx is equal to y dash, or sometimes it can be denoted by y suffix 1 and also delta y, where delta is a differential coefficient that can be denoted by d by dx, right? So if we find the derivative of a function at particular point, like f dash of x at x is equal to a. So this f dash of x at x is equal to a is given by f dash of a is equal to limit h tends to 0. Just replace x by a plus h minus f of a by h. So my advice is, so try to find the derivative of all the function It's better to you can derive with the help of first principle of calculus. Then let us see some derivative of elementary function that all we know. So here, what is the derivative of constant? So clearly it is 0. So x power n is, we know that n into x power n minus 1. E power x is e power x. Then what is the derivative of modulus x? So whether it is positive or negative. So here it is equal to, we can written as like mod x by x, or else it can be written as x by modulus x. So here x should not equal to 0, because at x is equal to 0, the modulus function cannot be differentiated. So because at x is equal to 0, we are getting a corner. It is okay, right? Sharp curve at the point x is equal to 0. Our left hand derivative should not equal to right hand derivative. So what is the derivative of log mod x base e? Like it is clearly 1 by x log e base e. That is nothing but it is 1 by x. So when we see the derivative of log x base a is 1 by x into log a base e. So this, the derivative of root x is 1 by 2 root x, and the derivative of 1 by x is minus 1 by x square. So once we can revise all these formulas are very important. So this is minus n by x to the power of n plus 1. So finally, what is the derivative of greatest integer function? There are two cases will be there. X doesn't belongs to z and x belongs to z. So when we see that x doesn't belongs to z, the derivative of greatest integer function 0, and x belongs to z not defined. Not defined means the derivative does not exist at x belongs to z. Means at every integer, left hand derivative should not equal to right hand derivative. Let us see some important theorem or rule. Okay, there are 4 rules we will discuss. The one is sum and difference rule, another one is product rule, another one is division rule or chain rule. So I am taking two functions f of x and g of x are any two differentiable function, and c1, c2 are any two constants. Like what is sum and differentiable difference rule? That is, so here d by dx of c1 fx plus or minus c2 g of x. This can be written as c1 is a constant, take outside c1 into d by dx of fx plus or minus c2 d by dx of g of x, right? So this is, if we take plus, that is sum rule. If we take minus, difference rule. And coming to the product, this is very important. So that is d by dx. If they give any product of two different functions, f of x and g of x, so this is equal to, so this is f of x into d by dx of g of x plus g of x into d by dx of f of x. Simply you have to remember the condition here. The derivative of uv is equal to uv dash plus u dash v, right? So next, division rule. So division rule, or another name is quotient rule. Quotient rule. Then that is d by dx of f of x by g of x is clearly equal to, then here it is g of x into d by dx of f of x minus then f of x into d by dx of g of x. So all divided by g of x the whole square. Here you have to remember that g of x should not equal to 0. So simply you have to remember the formula for this quotient rule. The derivative of u by v, this is equal to v u dash minus u dash v by v square, right? So the next rule is, let us say example for division and product rule and chain rule, everything. So chain rule nothing but, so for example, y is equal to, I want to take some function. Y is equal to, I want to take y of u, and u is equal to u of v. U is a function in terms of v. So v is equal to, v is a function in terms of x. Finally, I want to find dy by dx. This is equal to what? So dy by dx means First, you have to differentiate with respect to u, that is dy by du. U you can differentiate with respect to v. Then v is we can differentiate with respect to x. So with the help of chain rule, so we can find the dy by dx. I already clearly written here chain rule. So y is a function of u, u is a function of v, v is a function of x. Then dy by dx is equal to I have written condition. And coming to next, the derivative of different types. So what are the types? Let us see 5 types. That is, one is the derivative of trigonometric functions. Next, inverse trigonometric function. Next, hyperbolic function, inverse hyperbolic function. Then the derivative of determinants. Okay, let's see here. We know all this. So is there any shortcut method to remember the derivative of trigonometric function? Yeah, I'm giving some shortcut here. Look at here, whenever see like cos x or cot x or cosecant x. So for all these cases, we get the negative. The derivative, the result is negative, like minus. So since we know that the cos x derivative is sin x and cot x is minus cosecant square x, here it is minus cosecant x into cot x. So remaining 3 are positive, that we know remaining 3. What are the remaining 3? Sin x will be cos x, tan x will be secant square x, secant x will be secant x into tan x. Then what about the inverse? Inverse of these functions. Sine inverse, sine inverse. So if you remember sine inverse, tan inverse, secant inverse, remaining are opposite sign. So this is clearly, we know that 1 by square root of 1 minus x square, and the tan inverse is 1 by 1 plus x square, and here secant inverse is 1 by modulus x root over x square minus 1. Then what about the derivative of remaining 3? Simply here minus 1 by root over 1 minus x square. Here remember that mod x is lesser than 1. The domain is here x is belongs to R in tan inverse x. Here this is minus 1 by 1 plus x square, and whatever the secant inverse is there, minus 1 by modulus x root over x square minus 1. Here the domain is mod x is greater than 1. Otherwise it is, we are getting undefined value. Let us see hyperbolic function. Here also, to remember hyperbolic function, the derivative. See, your first 3 functions are positive, the next 3 functions are negative. Sin hx will be cos hx, like a trigonometry. Cos hx is sin hx, and tan hx is secant square hx. In trigonometry, cos hx will be minus sin x in trigonometry, but hyperbolic it is positive. Then what about cot? Cot is like minus cosecant square hx, and secant hx is minus secant hx into tan hx, right? Here cosecant hx is minus cosecant hx into cot hx. These are the formulas for, yeah. Then coming to what is the derivative of inverse hyperbolic functions. Let's see here. Sine h inverse of x is 1 by square root of 1 plus x square. In trigonometry, it is 1 minus x square. Here it is 1 plus. So here it is 1 by square root of x square minus 1. So cos h inverse. Tan h is 1 by 1 plus x square is trigonometry. Here it is x square. So here it is minus 1 by 1 minus x square is cot h inverse of x. So what about the secant? Secant will be, so minus 1 by modulus x square root of 1 minus x square. Then finally here 1 by modulus x into root over x square plus 1. So these are the derivative you have to remember. So very carefully all this. So finally the derivative of determinant. So what is the derivative of this determinant here? Let's see here. So if they give y is equal to like the determinant which is belongs to the functions f1x, f2x, f3x, and g1 of x, g2x, g3 of x is second row. The third row is h1 of x, h2x, and h3x, right? So the derivative of this function, how to derivative the determinant? So it's very simple. So first we can differentiate the first row plus differentiate the second row plus differentiate the third row. Okay. So here the first row is f1 dash of x and f2 dash of x, here f3 dash of x. Here now second row you can differentiate here. So what is second row? G1. So G1 dash of x, G2 dash of x, G3 dash of x. When we differentiate second row, remaining two rows are constant, same. And in the same way here, the second row will be like same. First row and second row will be the G1 of x, G2 of x, G3 of x. But coming to the third row becomes H1 dash of x, H2 dash of x, H3. So when you want to differentiate, don't differentiate all the rows at a time, all the elements at a time. So you can differentiate row wise or else column wise, right? I differentiated first row and keeping remaining two rows are same, and differentiated second row and keeping remaining two rows are same, like that in the same third row. So let us see some important methods here. So like very important, mostly in JEE mains, they ask a question from these methods. So that parametric method, logarithmic method, composite, differentiation of composite functions, and like implicity function, derivative with respect to another function, and infinite series. Okay, higher order derivative, let us see here. So I have written some few methods here in that parametric functions of differentiation, logarithmic functions of differentiation, and here differentiation of composite function, differentiation of implicity function, okay, by using substitution of trigonometric transformation and infinite series, okay, and inverse functions, and with one function with respect to another function. Let us see one by one all the methods. So I have written here clearly, if you observe here, differentiation of parametric form. So already we see in our geometry the parametric form, like a circle. Circle we can express the two variable x and y in terms of theta, like x is equal to, if you see here in calculus, the circle, like x is equal to r cos theta and y is equal to r sin theta are the parametric equations of the circle. X square plus y square is equal to r square, that we have seen. So what is theta here? Theta is a parameter. So we can express the given two variable in terms of a single variable, that is theta, is known as parametric. Here I have given x is equal to f of t and y is equal to g of t, or the function of t, such x and y are called parametric functions. Okay. See, not only this, even parabola parametric equations are. What are the parametric equations of parabola? X is equal to at square, comma y is equal to 2at. Are the parametric equations of y square is equal to 4ax. Okay, fine. Then how can we find the derivative of this with the, so here I need to find dy by dx when y is equal to f of t and x is equal to f of t, y is equal to g of t. Then dy by dx can be written as f dash of t by g dash of t. Is it clear? That is can be written as, so dy by dt by dx by dt. So given function you can differentiate with respect to t. So this, let's see example of this which is belongs to JEE mains. So like we can take many example like parametric equations of ellipse, hyperbola, then they may ask the derivative of that. Next, logarithmic differentiation. So if the differentiation of expression is done after taking the logarithm, then only it is exist. Okay, then that differentiation is called the logarithmic differentiation. So I have written very clearly here. So both sides we can take the log, then that is logarithmic differentiation. If you see here, for example, if the given functions are like this, so y power x is equal to x power y. Can you differentiate directly here? We cannot differentiate directly here. So we should take a log on both sides, then we can differentiate, we'll get dy by dx very easily. Like not only that, if I express the given function y is equal to like some cos x to the power of sin x and plus tan x to the power of some cot x I have given. Now I want to differentiate this function with respect to x. How can you find dy by dx here? So here the dy by dx is given by, first you have to compare the given equation with u plus v. So where u is equal to cos x to the power of sin x and v is equal to, you are going to get tan x to the power of cot x, right? So now after this, you have to take log on both sides for this u and log on both sides for this v. Then you can differentiate. You are going to get your du by dx and you are going to get dv by dx. So after getting du by dx, dv by dx, now you can differentiate given y. So the derivative of y with respect to x is given by dy by dx is equal to du by dx and dv by dx. Okay, so like in many cases, we can apply the logarithmic differentiation. So it is in the form of, mainly if you see, so mainly two cases will be there. If the function is in the form of fx power g of x, then you can apply the logarithmic. And the function, it is in the form of like a product of some finite number of function f1 of x, f2 of x, so on, then fn of x by g1 of x into g2 of x, so on, g m of x. So like this. So in this case also we can apply log on both sides, then differentiate. You can differentiate, then it will become easy. This kind of. So like not only that, even if it is infinite series, like y is equal to y to the power of sin x power sin x up to infinite terms. In that case also we can apply the logarithm. And the next, derivative of composite function. So in functions, already you studied about composite functions. F and G are any two functions, the composite of f and g is given by f circle g of x. Then how can you differentiate this f circle g? This f circle g also can be written as f of g of x. Then the derivative of this is given by then f dash of g of x into g dash of x, right? So this will give, first we can differentiate f, then after we can differentiate g. This is the with the help of chain rule. So let us see example for each and every method, like JEE mains question. So coming to the implicity function, there are two types of functions are there, implicity function and explicity function. So any function we can write, express in the form of y is equal to f of x. Y is a function in terms of x, then this is called explicity function. Okay, explicit function. Then explicity functions we can differentiate directly, but what about implicity function? So if an equation both x and y occur together, like f of x comma y is equal to 0, then in this form we cannot separate, like we cannot take all x values one side, then that function is called implicity function. So the equation cannot be solved either x or y, then x or y is called implicity functions. Implicity function. So if you see here, there are two working rules are there. So first method, so we can differentiate each and every term with respect to x. So the given f of xy, we can differentiate directly. So here example, if you see that example, x cube plus y cube plus 3axy is equal to 0 I'm taking. Can you write this equation y is equal to some f of x form? No, we cannot write. So in this case, we can differentiate directly. That is first, differentiate directly with respect to x each and every term with respect to x. That second method is the shortcut method. Everyone should remember that. So the dy by dx, for example, the function f of x comma y is equal to 0. then here the dy by dx is given by minus of bracket dou f by dou x by and dou f by dou y. Nothing but what is dou? This is called the partial derivative of y with respect to x, partial derivative of f with respect to y, right? So partial, what is the mean by partial derivative? For example, xy is equal to x plus x square plus y square is equal to 0 is there. So what is the dou f by dou y? So when you differentiate with respect to x, you can keep y as constant. Okay, y becomes constant. So here, like 1 into y. So if it is not, generally in ordinary derivative, we'll write dy by dx. Coming to this dou f by dou x means keep y as constant here. X square is 2x, y square is a constant, becomes 0. In the same way, if we differentiate with respect to, y, so xy, you can keep x as constant, x into 1 plus x square is 0 plus y square is 2y, like that. So these are the partial derivative. So very simple, minus of the derivative of given function with respect to x by the derivative of given function with respect to y. So fifth method, if you see that higher order derivatives. So y is a function of x, the derivative of x with respect to the derivative of y with respect to x. With respect to x is given by dy by dx, we know very well. So this is called the first derivative of order 1. Again, if we differentiate, we are going to get d square y by dx square. That can be written as d by dx of dy by dx. Okay, so here we differentiated twice, then here this order is equal to 2. This is called second order derivative. Again, if we differentiate, this d square y by dx square, then we are going to get the third derivative dq y by dx cube. So if you differentiating go on like this, so finally the nth derivative, if we differentiate n times, so finally we are going to get d by dx of n minus 1th derivative, that is n minus 1 y by dx power n minus 1 is clearly equal to d power n y by dx power n. So this is also can be written as like y dash, y double dash, y triple dash, so y to the power of n. Okay, for the sake of our convenience, you can write either dy by dx or y dash or y suffix 1 or delta y, like that. Next, let's see the differentiation of infinite series. So infinite series means, so y can be expressed in infinite terms, in infinite series form. So y is given in the form of infinite series. Next, we have to find this dy by dx. I want to find here dy by dx. So what to do here to find the dy by dx? Yes, if we want to find the dy by dx, okay, so we can remove one or more terms. It does not exist the series. For example, look at here. I'm going to write the y function they given. Let us consider this is the form they given. So f of x plus again square root of f of x plus square root of again f of x plus so on up to infinite. So clearly it is an infinite series. So how can you differentiate? Can you apply the logarithmic method? No. So to do that, it is infinite series. So if I round this from f of x to till infinite, okay, so again this will give y. Okay, again this will give y because this is not affected to the given series, right? So if I replace here y is equal to square root of f of x plus y, to find the derivative, you should not differentiate directly. Again, square root is there. So differentiate on both sides, y square is equal to, we are going to get f of x plus y, right? So now you can differentiate here. So here we are going to get dy by dx is equal to f dash of x by 2y minus 1. So this is the shortcut method. If possible, you can try to remember this shortcut method, right? First, you have to derive yourself. Not only this, if it is nth root is there, nth root of f of x, nth root of f of x one up to infinite terms. For that case also we can write dy by dx directly formula. Okay. Next, the differentiating of a function. Differentiating of a function with respect to another function. Let's see here. This is method 7. So there are two functions are there. U is equal to f of x, v is equal to g of x. I'm taking in terms of x. So to find the derivative of f of x with respect to g of x, like du by dx is equal to du by dx, dv by dx, du by dv. Right. For example, I'm taking u is equal to, let us take yourself, u is equal to, I want to take some sine inverse x. V is equal to, you can take any kind of function. Like I want to take, for example, log x. I want to find the derivative of sine inverse x with respect to log x. So I want to take sine inverse as u and log x as v. Then first you have to differentiate given function with respect to x. Here also dv by dx. Also here we'll get 1 by root over 1 minus x square, and here we get 1 by x. After that, so we want the derivative of sine inverse means du with respect to another function, that is du by dv is clearly equal to, it can be written as du by dx by dv by dx. Like see, substitute these values here, 1 by root over 1 minus x square by 1 by x. Finally, the derivative becomes x by root over 1 minus x square. Not only this, you can take any kind of the function, one function with respect to another function. Let us see the question JEE Mains, which is related to JEE Mains and JEE Advanced, after explaining these concepts. Right. See, differentiation of inverse trigonometric functions. So my suggestion is better to, you must remember all the formulas. Okay. So if you want to differentiate sine inverse x, cos inverse x, sine inverse is 1 by root over 1 minus x square, cos inverse is 1 minus 1 by root over 1. So instead of that, if you remember, so clearly it is equal to, that we know that this is clearly equal to d by dx of, what is the formula for sine inverse x plus cos inverse x? Yes, this is equal to pi by 2. This is also pi by 2. So not only this, the derivative of secant inverse plus cosecant inverse also becomes pi by 2. So what is the derivative of pi by 2? Becomes 0. Okay, if you remember this formula, then directly we can write 0. Then next one is, so what is the derivative of tan inverse 2x by 1 minus x square, and d by dx of sine inverse 2x by 1 plus x square, and d by dx of cos inverse 1 minus x square by 1 plus x square. Yeah, for all three cases, so we are having only one formula, that is equal to 2 tan inverse x. Okay, 2 tan inverse x. Since we know that the derivative of tan inverse x, 2 is a constant, take outside, the tan inverse is 1 by 1 plus x square. So finally, what is the derivative of this tan inverse of 2x by 1 minus x square? 2 by 1 plus x square. And what is sine inverse? For these three cases, we are having only one formula, that is tan inverse of 2x by 1 minus x square, sine inverse 2x by 1 plus x square, cos inverse of 1 minus x square by 1 plus x square. Formula is 2 tan inverse x. If you know this formula, the answer directly is 2 by. So in the same way, what is sine inverse 2x root over 1 minus x square? Anyone? So here clearly it is 2 sine inverse x. Since we know that 2 is a constant, take outside, the sine inverse x is root over 1 minus x square. I already written all these formulas, sine inverse x, cos inverse x. Then cos inverse of 2x square minus 1 again. So 2 cos inverse of x. How should we get? Just replace x by sine x. Here we can replace x by cos x. Okay, you'll get like this. Since we know that the formula for 2 cos inverse x is minus 2 by root over 1 minus x square. Okay, so like that, we'll see the remaining formulas. See, what is the derivative of sine inverse of 3x minus 4x cubed? This is 3 sine inverse x. So what about this cos? This is 3 cos inverse of x. See here, formulas. This is 3 tan inverse of x. Formula. Formula for sine inverse 3x minus, so this is clearly equal to again 3 by square root of 1 minus x square. Here minus 3 by root over 1 minus x square. And finally tan inverse is 1 by 1 plus x square. That is 3 by 1 by 1 plus x square. So my suggestion is you must remember all these trigonometric formulas, very important formulas. Okay, and so if you want, you can pause that video and you can note it down, these formulas. And coming to substitution, this is also very important to get the derivative in simplest, like easiest way. So you should know what should be substitute in place of x. What should be substitute in place of x? Very important. So coming to, if I want to find the d by dx of this root over a square minus x square, so we have to use the root x formula. Again, we can use chain rule. But instead of that, if you substitute x is equal to, like here, sine theta or x is equal to cos theta, then you can substitute these values and it will get in simplest form. We will get the simplest form. And coming to root over x square plus a square, in that case, you can substitute x is equal to, like here, a sin theta, a cos theta. Here, a tan theta or a cot theta. Or coming to this third one is, you have to substitute in place of x is equal to a secant theta or a cosecant theta. Any one of the function you can substitute. So we'll get a simplest form. Derivative becomes very easy. Right, next, if it is a minus x by a plus x, this is equal to, you have to substitute x is equal to a cos 2 theta. Okay, here x square is equal to, like x is equal to same here also, x square is equal to a square cos 2 theta. Right, cos theta, because if we substitute here, we are going to get 1 minus cos 2 theta by 1 plus cos 2 theta form. So 1 minus cos 2 theta, we know that 2 sin square theta, 1 plus cos 2 theta is 2 cos square theta, right? So in this case, like, so what can we substitute in place of this ax minus x square? So x is equal to, what shall we substitute in this method? Like x is equal to, we can substitute like sine theta. Okay, sine theta. Then here, so x by root over. So coming to this last one is x is equal to, we can substitute a cos square theta plus b sin square theta. Here we can substitute x is equal to a secant square theta minus b tan square theta. So what about these two cases? What about these two cases? What is the value we need to substitute here? So x is equal to, we can substitute like a tan square theta. Okay, a tan square theta. Right here, x is equal to, you should substitute a sin square theta or a cos square theta, right? Then we'll get the simplest form. So you should remember these substitutions also. So coming to some nth derivative of some standard functions are there. So formulas like this is m into, like we can differentiate once, we can differentiate twice, like with the help of mathematical induction we can do, or else we can differentiate directly once, twice, thrice, like that. We'll get finally the mth derivative is given by this. Okay, in JEE advanced point of view, you should remember all this nth derivative. X power n is n factorial. So d power n by dx power n into e power x is a power n e power x. A power n e power x. So what is the derivative of exponential function a to the power of mx? If we differentiate n times, m to the power of n log a whole power n a to the power of mx. Okay, so like that, sin ax plus b cos x plus b sin x, n times of sin x derivative, n times of cos x derivative. Okay, so you have to derive like take n is equal to 1, you can verify, like check LHS value and RHS value whether it is equal or not. Okay, let's see some important questions which is belongs to methods of differentiation. Okay, the first question. The first question I am taking like f of x is equal to x by root over 1 minus x square. G of x is x by root over 1 plus x square. I want to find the derivative of composite functions that we discussed. The method one is the composite functions, method 3, right? How can you differentiate this? First, before differentiating this, first you should find f circle G. F circle G, right? So f of x is given here, g of x is given. So f circle G of x can be written as f of g of x, that already given. F of g of x is x by root over 1 plus x square. Now you have to replace this. In place of x, you can replace this value x by. So finally, this is equal to like x by root over 1 plus x square by square root of 1 minus x by root over 1 plus x square, the whole square. So this is equal to x by root over 1 plus x square. Now, what about here? Square root get cancelled. Then if you take LCM here, LCM, so here 1 plus x square is the LCM. So 1 plus x square minus x square get cancelled. Again, root of this get cancelled. So finally, f circle G of x we got, f circle G of x we got x. So the derivative of this f circle G of x is equal to d by dx of, finally we got the result is x. So x, this is clearly equal to 1. So the correct answer is 1. The first option is correct. And coming to the second question, if you see here, the derivative of cos x to the power of log x to the power of x. If you observe here, each function in the form of fx power gx, right? Fx to the power of gx. Yeah, I already written when the given function y is equal to fx to the power of g of x. So remember that the dy by dx is clearly equal to same fx to the power of g of x bracket g of x into f dash of x by f of x plus log f of x into g dash of x. This is the formula for formula for y is equal to f of x to the power of g of x. Okay, if we apply, otherwise you can take the first function as u and second function as v, then apply log on both sides. Log u is equal to, so log of cos to the power of log x, log of log x to the power of x. Again, you can use the formula log a to the power of m. Since you have to remember few formulas here, important formulas. What are those formulas? So the important formula is log a to the power of m is equal to m log a, right? M log a. And log ab formula, we know that log ab formula, log a plus log b. So log a plus b, log a minus b cannot be defined, right? So if I apply this formula, then cos x power log x. Cos x power log x is given by cos to the power of log x. So cos x to the power of log x, I have written this fx for g of x, and g of x is as it is. What is the g of x in first case? G of x is log x. The power, this is g of x, this is g of x, this is f of x, right? So g of x is log x. So log x into, yeah, what is the derivative of like f dash of x by f of x? So cos x derivative is minus sin x by f of x. Yeah, f dash of x by f of x plus log f of x. Log f of x. Log of f of x is clearly cos x into the g dash of x. So g dash of x is, that is power log x derivative. Here the power is clearly, what is the power here? Log x, right? So log x is g of x. Then the derivative of g of x here, we are going to get 1 by x. Okay, this is the derivative of first one, like left side is dy by dx, and plus what about the second one? So plus the second function also you can apply the same. Here it is, this is fx, the power is g of x, then apply the same formula. So g of x is x, f of x is log x. So finally formula is log x to the power of x, then g of x, that is x. Log x derivative is 1 by x by log x, f dash of x by f of x, then log of f of x. Log of f of x is what? Log x. Log of log x into the derivative of the g of x is 1, because g of x value is 1, x, and f of x is log x. Like so, this is the answer. If you see the option, which one of the following option is correct? Like log x to the power of log 1 by, yeah. Like second one is log of f of x. Yeah. Log of log x. Right, exactly. So if you see that, what is the answer here? Yeah, here x get cancelled. X get cancelled. The first option is the correct answer. Right, you can check this. So here log of cos x will get, and minus log of tan x is there. See here, sine by cos, clearly tan x, minus tan x, take minus outside. So log x into tan x. Here log cos x by x. Then coming to the next question, sine inverse x y is equal to log of 1 minus t square, then dy by dx at t is equal to 1 by t. Okay, student, a dy by dx, they are asking. Clearly, it is the parametric form. So x is a function, y is a function in terms of t. Then first, to find dy by dx, you should find dy by dt and then dx by dt. Differentiate given function with respect to t. So here dy by dt. Let's see here dy by dt is equal to sine inverse t derivative 1 by root over 1 minus t square, right? So then dx by dt. Dx by dt is log of 1 minus t square, that we are going to get 1 by 1 minus t square. Again, you can use the chain rule. First the derivative of log, after that the derivative of 1 minus t square. 1 minus t square is 0 minus 2t. 1 is a constant derivative is 0. So finally we are getting minus 2t by 1 minus t square, right? So substitute here, both the values substitute here, we will get, so dy by dx clearly equal to dy by dt. So 1 by root over 1 minus t square. So by minus 2t by, so 1 minus t square. 1 minus t square. This we got. Okay, in this case, shall I write this value as 1 square root of 1 minus t square whole square? Yes, we can write. Now, if you write like this, now you can cancel. 1 square root of 1 minus t square get cancelled. So finally, what is the remaining value here? The remaining value we are going to get, so minus here, like this denominator, root over 1 minus t square by 2t we get. Okay, when you substitute that t is equal to 1 by 2, when you substitute t is equal to 1 by 2, so what about the value? Minus square root of 1 minus 1 by 4 by 2 times of 1 by 2. So this is clearly equal to 2 to get cancelled. Here when we take that, yes, 4 minus 1, 3. So minus root 3 by square root of 4 is 2. So minus root 3 by 2 is the correct answer. Yes or no? Dy by, sorry, here I have substituted reverse. So this is dx by dy, you can take dx by dy, because you know dy by dt is different. This is dx by dt, this is dy by dt. Just you can find dx by dt. So till now we got dx by dt at t is equal to 1 by 2. But we required dy by dt. Okay, so dy by dt, for that dy by dx at t is equal to 1 by 2 is given by minus 2 by root 3. So which one of the following option is correct? Third option is right. Next, let us see another question. Right, if you see that, so we cannot separate the x variable one side, y variable another side. So it is not a explicit function. Clearly, it is a implicit function. Implicit function. Okay, now I want to differentiate this implicit function, right? dy by dx. Okay, so that I told you clearly the shortcut method, that is minus of dou f by dou x by dou f by dou y, right? So you can differentiate given function partially with respect to x, and with respect to y, just substitute. So very simple. So given function you can take as f of x comma y, f. You can take f is equal to given function. Let us see here. So what is the dou f by dou x? You can differentiate with respect to x. You can treat y as a constant. That will be 4x minus 3 into 1 into y. 2x square becomes 4x, and the y square is 0, and x is 1 plus 0 plus 0. So this is clearly 4x minus 3y plus 1. So this is dou f by dou x, and in the same way you have to differentiate with respect to y, dou f by dou y. This is clearly equal to, yeah, differentiate with respect to y. You can treat x as a constant, 0 minus 3 into x, and y square becomes 2y. X is a constant, 0, 2y. Here 2y becomes 2, then 8 is constant, 0, right? So clearly it is equal to what? So clearly this is equal to 3x minus 3x plus 2y plus 2. Okay, finally, the dy by dx is given by. What about dy by dx? So dy by dx is given by S20. So here dy by dx is equal to minus of dou f by dou x. What is dou f by dou x? 4x minus 3y plus 1 by, again 2y minus 3x plus 2. So according to the option, the denominator clearly 2y. Numerator multiply with minus. When you multiply with minus, so 3y minus 4x minus 1 by, so 2y minus 3x plus 2 will get. So which one of the option is correct here? So 3y minus 4x minus 1 by 2y minus 3x plus 2, right? So the first option is, so absolutely correct answer. So first option is right. So very simple, when they give an implicit function, try to use this shortcut method. It is very, very useful to you, right? So next, the derivative of tan inverse of root over 1 plus x square minus 1 by x with respect to, like, see here, the function derivative of one function with respect to another function. I'm treating the first function as u, second function as v. Then we need to find here du by dv. So du by dv. So this can be written as du by, shall I write a dx? Yeah, dv by dx. So by using that tan inverse, first you should find the derivative of u with respect to x, du by dx. Okay, what is the derivative of the tan inverse of root over 1 plus x square minus 1 by x? Yes, can you differentiate directly? No, it's better to do like this. So directly it is quite difficult. It will be lengthy also. So you can go through substitution method, 1 plus x square. So as I told you just now, like whenever it is in the form of root over a square plus x square, you substitute x is equal to a tan t. Like here, I want to take x is equal to tan theta, which implies theta is equal to tan inverse x. Okay, fine. So you have to replace here. U is equal to tan inverse of root over 1 plus tan square theta minus 1 by so tan theta. I have written tan theta in simplest form t theta, right? Now, since we know that here u is equal to tan inverse of root over 1 plus tan square becomes secant square minus 1 by tan theta. So now you can simplify again. Tan inverse of root over secant square is secant theta. Secant theta can be written as 1 by cos theta minus 1 by sin theta by cos theta, right? Sin theta by cos theta. Then finally, u is equal to, we are going to get tan inverse of, take LCM, numerator and denominator, cos theta get cancelled. So 1 minus cos theta by sin theta we will get. So here finally, so du by dx, when you see that du by dx, so first u is equal to, again you can simplify tan inverse of 1 minus cos theta, that we know that 2 sin square, this is 2 sin square theta by 2 by, so sin theta formula is 2 sin theta by 2 into cos theta by 2, right? Okay, fine. Here 2 get cancelled. Yes or no? Here clearly 2 get cancelled, 2 cancel. 1 sin theta by 2 get cancelled. The remaining will be tan theta by 2, right? Tan theta by 2, that we can write. So u is equal to tan inverse of tan theta by 2. So tan inverse cancel, theta by 2 we get. At last we can replace theta. What is theta? Tan inverse x. Yes or no? I have written clearly here, theta is tan inverse x. Tan inverse x. What is tan inverse x? Tan inverse x is v. I am taking the tan inverse x as v. So finally u is equal to 1 by 2 times of p. But we need to find du by dv. So du by dv with respect to v, we can differentiate. Du by dv is equal to 1 by 2 into 1. With respect to v derivative is 1. So finally, what is the answer? Answer will be 1 by 2. The fourth option is correct option. Correct answer, right? So let us see the sixth example. This is like infinite series. First, okay, I want to take, this is clearly equal to some v. I want to take this square root, that is I'm equating to v now. So clearly this given equation also can be written as like this. Y minus v clearly equal to root over x plus v, this is equal to v. Am I right? See, if you take this value, it is infinite series. If you consider again this as v, so it should not be effective to the given question. Okay, given a series, because it is infinite. Okay, if we avoid this one x, it should not be give effect. So this is also v, this is also v, because the both the function I'm equating to v. So now what to do here? Now we can squaring on both sides. So y minus v is equal to x plus v is equal to v square. Now equating separately. So y minus v is equal to v square, and x plus v is equal to v square. Am I right? X plus v also v square. When we adding these values, so what about here? When we adding like v get cancelled. Am I right? Otherwise, so x plus y is equal to, we are going to get 2v square. Am I right? 2v square. Y minus v and x plus v. Fine. After this, what to do? Then actually we have to eliminate the v, because the question in terms of x and y, the answer also it should be in terms of x and y, not in terms of v. So finally, we got like that. When we subtract this, when I adding these two equations, we getting like this. So these two equation, like take this is 1, this is 2. Yeah, 1 minus 2. You can do equation 1 minus equation 2. So here y minus x is equal to y minus x is equal to like whatever the value we are going to get. So 2v we get, which implies y minus x by 2 is equal to v. So this v you can substitute here. So finally, x plus y is equal to 2 times of v square. That is y minus x by 2, the whole square. Now you can square. Okay, you should be square. So this is equal to 2 times of x square plus y square minus 2xy by 4 we will get. So 2 2's get cancelled. So finally you can cross multiply 2. So 2 times of x plus y. So we are going to get x square plus y square minus 2xy. See here, now you can differentiate. So there clearly it is an implicity function. Implicity function, that implicity function, the derivative of dy by dx is given by minus dou f by dou x by dou f by dou y, right? So you can differentiating partially with respect to x and partially with respect to y, you can substitute, then you are going to get any one of the answers. So I think so this is here we are going to get the first option itself. Once you can check it. Right, coming to this, see here, they given d by dx of e to the power of sine root x plus e to the power of minus sine root x. Like that they given. So can you differentiate? And like within short time, it is not possible because this we can apply the quotient rule or division rule. We can apply u by v again the derivative of numerator denominator. It is quite lengthy. So if you know the formula for hyperbolic, like see, you know, cot hx formula is e to the power of x plus e to the power of minus x by e to the power of x minus e to the power of minus x. So you have to remember all formulas. Even sine hx is like e to the power of x minus e to the power of minus x by 2, and cos hx is e to the power of x plus e to the power of minus x by 2. With help of this sine hx, cos hx, we can write remaining all 3 or 4 hyperbolic function. So this can be written as d by dx of, shall we write like this, cot h of sine root x, s we can write. So in place of x, we are having sine root x. Okay, sine root x. Now we can differentiate. So if we differentiate here, so what is the derivative of cot hx? Cot hx derivative is, finally, if we use that, so d by dx of, we got cot h of sine root x, right? So this is clearly, so cot hx is minus cosecant square hx, that is sine root x. Again, sine root x derivative is like cos root x is 1 by 2 root x. We can apply the chain rule. First, we should differentiate cot hx derivative, then sine, then root x. Then x derivative is 1. Okay, now, so, but if you see the options, which is not belongs to any one of the option, so what to do here, right? So cosecant square, this value, cos will be there, cos root x is there, so by root x. So if you observe this here, okay, let us write here minus cos root x by 2 root x, it is okay. So cosecant square sin hx. So that we know that cosecant of this, cosecant square means e power again sine root x plus e to the power of minus sine root x by, so this e to the power of sine root x minus e to the power of minus sine root x the whole square. The whole square, right? Now, then what about this square value? When we observe here, cot hx, this is, you can apply by the formula sorry, here cosecant. What is the cosecant square? Not a cot becomes cosecant square hx. So cosecant square is the reciprocal of sin hx. Look at it, sin hx. Sin hx is e power x minus e power minus x by 2, and cosecant hx is 2 by that value, right? So this we can write here, this value cosecant hx. We can substitute the cosecant hx. Cosecant hx formula is the 2 by e to the power of reciprocal of sin hx formula. So this is now the first option is the correct option, right? The first option is correct option. Then coming to here, let us see this question. Y is equal to, like here by substitution method, like take x is equal to, like I want to take x is equal to cos 2 theta. Like x is equal to cos 2 theta. Then substitute here 1 plus cos 2 theta is 2 cos square theta, and 1 minus cos 2 theta is 2 sin square theta, right? So y is equal to cot inverse of root over 1 plus, that is, so we are going to get root 2 cos theta minus, so root 2 sin theta by same root 2 cos theta plus root 2 sin theta, right student? Right now, if you see here, root 2 almost get cancelled. This is equal to sin cos theta minus tan theta, right? So if it can be written as cot inverse of 1 minus tan theta by 1 plus tan theta. So this we know that it can be written as cot inverse of tan. See, this is a formula that we know that tan of pi by 4, 45 minus theta. So, but cot inverse is there, you can convert into cot inverse, then cot of 90 minus this theta. This is also can be written as, even if you write directly, cot 90 minus this. So pi by 4 plus theta will get, so cot inverse get cancelled. So finally pi by 4 plus theta. What is theta here? So theta is from this. What is theta value? We are going to get theta value is 1 by 2 cos inverse of x. 1 by 2 cos inverse of x. So since the derivative is 1 by 2 cos inverse x derivative is minus 1 by root over 1 minus x square. So second option is the correct option. Second option is the correct option. So this is module 1. In next module, I am going to discuss continuity of a function at the given point, right? So we will discuss very briefly, and the continuous also one of the important topic in calculus. So everyone should remember the basic properties and formula of limits. Then we can easily understand the continuity. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.